Hi there, and welcome to this last episode 5 of the mini series called What is Marketing? And today we're going to do a bit of a roundup and also go through a few other key considerations. But before we get to that, my name is Carl Craig West and I'm the founder of the Auckland Marketing Club. I'm also a speaker, a trainer and mentor. And remember, if you're watching this video on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. We make one of these videos roughly once a week, and it's all there to help you build your business and make it easier to manage. Okay, just want a quick recap on what we've done over the last 4 videos. So first of all, we looked at your audience, the A in the ABCs of marketing. Your audience is who you're trying to sell to. Now, you could have more than one audience, but I would urge you to spend as much possible time as you can on understanding your audience, who they are, where they are, what kind of person they are, what kind of habits they are, gender, location, income, etc., lifestyle, as much as you possibly can about your target audience. What do you know about these people? Because that then brings us on to the B, the broadcast, the boast, or your brag. And this is the bit where you start telling your target audience what it is that's good about what you do and who you are and the products and services that you provide. But without fully understanding the A, the B is likely to miss the mark in some way, shape or form. And once you have those two together, then we go on to the C, which is the channels. And this is the way, the methods that you use to get your broadcast in front of your target audience. And that's typically what we call, what most people understand about marketing. And that's social media, email, networking, events, whatever, your website, etc., SEO, paid advertising, and loads of other things besides. But what typically happens is that people start with the C. They'll set up a business and they'll get a website done, they'll get business cards done, they'll write all the copy on all of their flyers, leaflets and stuff without fully understanding their audience, their needs and how you're going to meet those needs, and then without fully, based on what the A, work out their boast. So if you go straight into C, straight into the channels, I recommend that you go back to the starting block and work on A. Simply because it will make such a difference to how well your marketing succeeds, because you'll be targeting the right people, and then when you've got that with the right boast or broadcast or message, and then using the right channels appropriate to them. After all, you want to use the channels that are going to reach your target audience, but unless you understand your target audience, you could end up spending a lot of time and effort and money on things which aren't going to reach the A. Okay, makes sense. And if you haven't seen all these videos, I'm going to put links in the description below so you can go back and watch them. Okay, a few more considerations with this marketing. Now, when I went to university, we did stuff on marketing as part of my degree, and they had a traditional marketing model of the 4 Ps, the price, place, position, and promotion. Now, most marketing is considered these days to be all about promotion, but there's a few things you need to take into account with the others. Your pricing. Make sure your pricing is appropriate to your target market. Some people in a high-end market won't buy things if they're perceived to be too cheap, whereas many people in the low market won't buy things if they're perceived to be too expensive. So, for example, you wouldn't charge a Rolls-Royce price for a Ford car. Make no sense, it's a Ford. Everybody expects to pay Ford prices. However, if you wanted a Rolls-Royce or a Mercedes or that high end, then you would expect to pay the price appropriate to that. And these guys at the top end only target their chosen market. Same thing with the likes of Ford, General Motors, Toyota, etc. They have a target market and they use the channels appropriate to those markets. So make sure that you're using your price point to reach your target market. Now, it doesn't mean, I never recommend that you go competing on price. Price competition is usually a race to the bottom, and the only winner is going to be the customer. And sadly, you'll cut your own throat and destroy your profits for the sake of winning the business. So you don't want any business at any price. Charge a fair price. Use value propositions, which is covered in another video, to make sure that what people are paying, they're getting good value for money for. I'm not the cheapest with some of the things that I do, but I know that I give great value for money, and that's what my clients buy. When I had the website design business, we were not the cheapest at all. We were somewhere in the middle of the road because we wanted clients who were happy to pay what we paid. We don't wanted tire kickers and people who wanted just a cheap job, and neither did we want the higher end stuff because that's not what we were targeting. So we were happy sitting in the middle, and that was fine because there's a big market in the middle. Yes, it's competitive, but it's not that difficult. Usually, if you think about it, if you know your A and you know your B, it's not that difficult to stand out. But pricing is important. Most people, when they start out in business, undervalue what they're doing. They charge themselves out as way too low. To be honest, that's not necessarily a bad thing as long as you can quickly learn that you need to bump the prices up to make some more money. But I'd like to tell you a quick story about a client of mine called, client and friend called Tim. Tim was a plumber, totally rushed off his feet, couldn't even go on holiday. And his wife complained that we can't even go on holiday because he's too busy. So I suggested to Tim that he put his prices up. And he said, well, I'll lose business. And I said, no, I promise you won't. Just 10%. All new customers. Keep the old ones on the same price, but all new customers 10%. 10% more. So we started doing that. Guess what? Nothing happened. He kept the same amount of business. He was just making 10% more money. I said, right. After a while, we said, how about another 10%? He said, well, I'm going to be kind of expensive. And I said, but you do incredibly good work. And that's what people are paying for. They're paying for the assurance that you're going to get it right first time. You're not going to have to keep coming. You're not going to have to keep coming back. But they're paying for quality here now. And I said, trust me, if it doesn't work, you can bring the prices back down. That's fine. So we put his prices up by another 20%. And guess what? It had no impact on his business. However, now he was making 20% more money than he was just a handful of months ago. And the key thing is that enabled him to be able to afford just to keep the business ticking over to the point where he could go on holiday. His wife was delighted. He had more money in the bank and he was able to buy himself a bit of time. But he wasn't necessarily cheap. He was providing good value for money. But I would say to people, if you're rushed off your feet with not enough hours in the day, then maybe you need to nudge your prices up a little bit. Not necessarily to get rid of all of the price shoppers, but just to make that hard work that little bit more valuable to you. Some people go away because of the price. That's fine. That's okay. They will find somebody to help them. But ultimately, it's your market. You charge what you think is good value for money, as long as you can back it up that people say you give great value for money. On the other hand, if you want to be expensive, if you're a high street hairdresser, for example, you're going to be on the high end. Then you're going to have a certain clientele who will go there. And that's fine. It's not a problem at all. It's however you see yourself in your market. It's much, much easier to start low and put your prices up than it is to start high and realize you've got it wrong and bring your prices down. So price, spend some time working out your price, make sure you understand your audience. And this is where understanding your audience comes into play. When you know these guys, your price, I wouldn't say it becomes apparent, but you can then put your price in that bracket that's appropriate to them. And I've kind of alluded on to the next one, which is position, which is the way you pitch yourself in the market, at the high end or the low end or somewhere in the middle. There's a lot of competition in the middle, and that's fine. You need to work out your way of standing out if that's where you're going to be. With the website design business, we worked out a way of standing out. No one else was doing what we were doing and offering what we were offering for the money. And it stood out head and shoulders above everybody else. And people have still said that we were providing value for money. So I'm happy with that. We were quite comfortable being there. But you pitch your position, and then where you are in the market. Are you high end, Rolls Royce, Mercedes, or are you low end, Skoda, Kia? I don't say the low end, but they're not up there, they're down here. So you pitch yourself where you feel is appropriate. It all boils back down to your market, and that's your position in the market. Place is often about location. If location is important to you, if you've got a restaurant, you want it easily accessible. If you've got a car dealership, ideally you want it next to a main road. McDonald's always look at the location of their restaurants before they even put one there. If it's a bad location, they won't place it there. It's simple as that. Why? Because they want to be visible. They want to be seen. They want people to drive by and see it rather than sticking it away in a corner. So think about position. If it's important to you, where are you going to have your business? And then the last one is promotion, and that's what all of the ABC typically focuses on. Your audience is all about your position, etc. That should work out your price, etc. Your channels works out your location, and putting it all that together means you should be able to work out a marketing plan based on it. Reach your audience with your target boast using the channels that are appropriate to your audience. So plenty to think about. Remember, if you've got questions, if you're in Auckland, take a look at the Auckland Marketing Club. It's here to help you grow your business, win and keep more customers, and make your business easier to manage. So check it out, aucklandbusinessbuilders.co.nz. Remember to share out and like this video. If you've got questions, please ask. It would be great to hear from you. But that's enough from me. I really hope this video and the What is Marketing series has helped. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.